the darkness of the ocean floor, something is watching you. It has 3 hearts, 9 brains. One brain isn't enough, so it grew 9. And blood the color of the sky. It can become invisible in less than a second. It can open a locked jar from the inside. It can recognize human faces and hold a grudge. Scientists have studied it for decades, and they still can't fully explain how it thinks. This is the octopus. And everything you think you know about intelligence is about to change. This is its chapter. Stay with us till the end. There's an 8-armed genius quiz waiting. 3 questions. Most people get at least 1 wrong.
There are around 300 known species of octopus, found in every ocean on Earth, from warm tropical reefs to the freezing waters of the Antarctic. The common octopus, Octopus vulgaris, is the species most studied by scientists. It can weigh up to 22 pounds and stretches up to 14 feet from arm tip to arm tip. But its physical size is the least interesting thing about it. The octopus has 3 hearts. 2 pump blood to its gills, and 1 pumps it to the rest of the body. When an octopus swims, that central heart stops beating, which is why octopuses prefer crawling to swimming. Exhaustion, quite literally, stops their heart. Its blood is blue, not as a quirk, but like chemistry. Instead of iron-based hemoglobin like ours, octopus blood uses copper-based hemocyanin, more efficient in cold, low-oxygen water. Evolution at its most precise. And those 9 brains. The octopus has 1 central brain, and then 8 more, 1 in each arm. Each arm can think, taste, and react completely independently from the central brain. When an octopus reaches into a crevice for food, its arm makes decisions on its own, without waiting for instructions from above. It is, in the most literal sense, a creature that thinks with its entire body.
But before we go deeper into how it thinks, you need to know what it's capable of. In 2016, an octopus named Inky at the National Aquarium of New Zealand squeezed through a gap in his tank lid, slithered 8 feet across the floor, and disappeared down a drain pipe leading directly to the ocean. Nobody saw him leave. Nobody knows exactly when he went. He simply decided to go home, and did. Keep that in mind as we explore where this animal comes from. Octopuses have existed on Earth for at least 300 million years, predating dinosaurs by 65 million years. They have survived 5 mass extinction events. Whatever killed the dinosaurs, whatever froze the oceans, whatever reshaped the continents, the octopus adapted and survived. And it did so completely alone. Octopuses are solitary animals. They do not form schools or groups. They do not raise families. They do not have allies. Every octopus you have ever seen in the ocean is navigating its world entirely by itself, hunting alone, defending alone, thinking alone. Which makes what scientists discovered about their intelligence even more extraordinary. You don't need a social network to be smart. The octopus proved that. Octopuses build homes. They select dens in rock crevices or coral, then decorate the entrance with shells, rocks, and debris, a behavior researchers call decorating. Some octopuses have been observed carrying coconut shell halves across the ocean floor, picking them up, awkwardly walking on 2 arms while holding them, and then assembling them into a portable shelter when needed. That is tool use. In an invertebrate, in an animal with no bones, no parents to teach it, and a lifespan of just 1 to 2 years.
In laboratories around the world, octopuses have repeatedly done things that shouldn't be possible. They solve mazes. They open child-proof pill bottles. They unscrew jar lids from the inside to reach food. And remember Inky, the octopus who escaped down a drain pipe to the ocean? He wasn't an anomaly. Aquarium staff around the world report octopuses regularly escaping tanks, raiding neighboring tanks for food, and returning before morning so nobody notices. They plan, they execute, they cover their tracks. Octopuses can also recognize individual human faces and remember them. Researchers at a New Zealand university discovered that octopuses consistently responded differently to different handlers, even when those handlers wore identical uniforms. One octopus repeatedly squirted water at a staff member it disliked, while behaving calmly around everyone else. It had a favorite and a least favorite. That is personality. That is preference in an animal whose entire brain is the size of a walnut. Remember this. How many arms does an octopus actually have? You might be surprised. We'll revisit that at the end. Here is perhaps the most staggering fact of all octopus biology. The octopus has approximately 500 million neurons, roughly the same as a dog. But while almost all of a dog's neurons are in its brain, 2/3 of an octopus's neurons are in its arms. The octopus doesn't just think about the world, it thinks through it, processing reality through 8 semi-independent limbs that each experience touches and tastes simultaneously. No other animal on Earth processes information this way, not even close.
Scientists believe that if octopuses lived longer, if evolution had given them decades instead of years, they might have developed into something we can barely imagine.
But intelligence alone doesn't keep you alive in the ocean. The octopus has no shell, no armor, no venom strong enough to deter a large predator. It is, physically, one of the most vulnerable animals in the sea. So, it became invisible instead. An octopus can change the color, pattern, and physical texture of its skin in under 300 milliseconds, faster than the human eye can track. It does this using 3 layers of specialized cells: chromatophores for color, iridophores for iridescence, and papillae for texture. These systems work together in real time, creating a living display screen across the entire body. And here is the part that truly baffles scientists. Octopuses are colorblind. They cannot see the colors they are mimicking. They match their environment with perfect accuracy, using only the brightness and contrast their eyes detect, and possibly through light-sensitive proteins in their skin itself. They may literally see with their skin. When camouflage fails, the octopus has 2 final defenses. First, ink, a cloud of dark mucus that obscures the predator's vision and dulls its sense of smell simultaneously. Second, speed. By jet-propelling water through its body, an octopus can reach speeds of 25 miles per hour in short bursts. The combination of invisibility, ink, and speed has kept this soft, boneless animal alive for 300 million years. It works.
But for all its intelligence, all its adaptability, all its survival across hundreds of millions of years, the octopus faces one biological reality it cannot escape. It lives for 1 to 2 years, and reproduction ends its life. After mating, a female octopus lays up to 400,000 eggs and spends the next 40 to 50 days doing nothing but caring for them. She stops eating entirely. She stops hunting. She dedicates every moment to aerating the eggs with her arms, cleaning them, protecting them from predators. By the time the eggs hatch, she is dying.
Her body has consumed itself to keep her going long enough to see her offspring into the world. She never meets them. She never teaches them anything. And yet somehow, her children are born knowing everything they need to survive. The male octopus doesn't live to see the eggs at all. He dies within weeks of mating. 1 to 2 years. That is all the time an octopus gets.
But for all its intelligence, all its adaptability, all its survival across hundreds of millions of years, the octopus faces one biological reality it cannot escape. It lives for 1 to 2 years, and reproduction ends its life. After mating, a female octopus lays up to 400,000 eggs and spends the next 40 to 50 days doing nothing but caring for them. She stops eating entirely. She stops hunting. She dedicates every moment to aerating the eggs with her arms, cleaning them, protecting them from predators. By the time the eggs hatch, she is dying. Her body has consumed itself to keep her going long enough to see her offspring into the world. She never meets them. She never teaches them anything. And yet somehow, her children are born knowing everything they need to survive. The male octopus doesn't live to see the eggs at all. He dies within weeks of mating. 1 to 2 years. That is all the time an octopus gets. In that window, it learns, it thinks, it solves, it escapes, it creates, it feels. And then, it's gone.
Octopuses are not currently endangered. Their adaptability and short reproductive cycle make them resilient to many pressures that devastate longer-lived species. But they are not invulnerable. In the Mediterranean, commercial octopus harvesting has increased by over 300% in the last 2 decades, driven by demand from European and Asian markets. Some fishing grounds that once teemed with octopuses are now nearly empty. Ocean warming is shifting the prey populations they depend on. Pollution affects the chemical signals they use to navigate and hunt. And the acidification of ocean water is beginning to affect the sensory systems octopuses rely on to survive. Scientists are watching closely. Animals that have survived 5 mass extinctions, including events that wiped out 90% of all life on Earth, may yet face its most complex challenge. One caused not by an asteroid or an ice age, but by us.
All right, you made it to the end. That means it's time for the 8-Armed Genius Challenge. 3 questions, no Googling. Let's see what you remember. Question 1. How many hearts does an octopus have? Question 2. How many brains does an octopus have? Question 3, and the one we teased earlier. How many arms does an octopus have? Drop your answers in the comments below, and let's see who gets the title 8-Armed Genius. 3 out of 3 earns you the title officially.
The octopus has been on this planet for 300 million years. It thinks in ways we are only beginning to understand. It lives and dies in a single year and leaves no trace except the next generation. It is the most alien intelligence on Earth, and it lives right here in our ocean. Now you know its chapter. Next Thursday, a new chapter. An animal that was hunted to the edge of silence, then brought back by one of the greatest conservation efforts in American history. Subscribe so you don't miss it.